A fascinating site, an absolutely fascinating site. It's on the very edge of Westminster Cathedral Conservation Area and sits incredibly close to the hustle and bustle of Victoria Street. Conservation area down to the south, Victoria Street running through west to east. This plan also shows bulk and mass, and we've highlighted some of the really big buildings around. Obviously Westminster Cathedral and City Hall are the two huge ones, but generally higher bulk and mass on Victoria Street, and we're reducing away in scale down to the conservation area. And that really has informed the way in which we set about designing this building. How to deal with a site like this? It's very much a site in mediation, or our response was had to mediate between a number of different constraints. The conservation area is very interesting, predominantly red brick, very high quality of early 20th century building stock, and we very quickly realised that in order to maximise the potential of the site, we would have to produce a building which managed to sit comfortably within a conservation area, but also be absolutely cutting edge in terms of the way it related to Victoria and Victoria as an up-and-coming environment. On a bulk and mass form, it was relatively simple. We basically broke the building mass into component parts and grew the component parts in scale away from the conservation area towards Victoria and then back down the other side. And that created a rather wonderful corner, and we were able to then enhance the visual context of that corner so that we got a building which has a real presence to it. I think it's very important to say that the mediation of the building between the conservation area and the commercial aspect of Victoria Street needed to be carried out very carefully. You know, the scale and the context of the building had to sit in the conservation area, but we were very, very aware that this is a building for the 21st century. We have to make an office floor plate work to a grade A level, and that means that we have to build a building which has clear open space, good floor to ceiling heights, and great natural daylighting. In terms of the more detailed design of the building, we worked very hard to create a floor space which was very clean. So we reduced the columns down to the absolute minimum. We needed to create really good floor ceiling heights. We've got a 2.8 clear height, which is really excellent. And we also wanted to create really good daylighting. We managed to achieve that by working on the detail of the facade, so that we created the red brick panels, but we actually also retained a very, very deep reveal there. Now, it was also important, though, that we didn't want the building to look old-fashioned. It needed to be a contemporary building, and we popped the windows out, each of those bay windows out, which gives the building a look of solidity, which was incredibly important within the conservation area. But also it has a sharpness, which was very, very important for its position in relation to what is happening now and in Victoria. The building comprises of approximately, and it is approximate at this stage, but it's 13,000 square metres of net floor space. And that's broken down into a floor plate of about 1,800, a little bit more, 1,800 square metres per floor. The entrance was very important, how we approach the building. It's key in an office building. We were lucky in the sense that the whole design of the building revolved around a very, very primary corner, the corner between Francis Street and Howick Place. From a bulk and mass point of view, that was clearly the key driver to the way in which the building flowed back into the conservation area. We've worked in conjunction with Jonah White Design Consultants to create what we believe will be a really, really first-class way of arriving at this building. This is a shot which shows the reception desk itself. and the access through to the main lifts going up to the office areas. Also a very generous area for seating as well. And Joan's worked really hard on this to create a very intimate area. The use of materials is very important as well. There's a warmth in the materials, leather, timber, and it's intended to be a more inviting reception than some of the rather cold, crisp and hard reception that one sees nowadays. Very interesting concept, and one we're very excited by. Another hugely important aspect of design was environmental design, how the building responded to its environment and sustainability issues. Our client has always envisaged this building will go above and beyond, and we were very happy to design a building which went above and beyond. So it's a building which performs way in advance of current building regulation standards. It's a building which will achieve BREEAM Excellent, and that sets a very high bar. It's a building which incorporates combined cooling, heat and power. It's extensive use of photovoltaics, as well as a sustainable building envelope as well. The site has a particular quality to it, a quality which sets it apart from maybe some of the other developments that are currently under construction in Victoria. The choice of those materials and the way in which we've managed to build a design which sits comfortably in both locations has produced a building which we would like to believe will stay fresh for many years to come. You know, I'd like to, if I'm still alive, walk down Victoria in 20-25 years' time and look at this building and think, yeah, that's a building which sits extremely well in its place and comfortably.